Concept 2, using the discriminant. Alright, so the discriminant comes from and is part of the quadratic formula. It's actually this part right here. It's the part underneath the square root. It's b squared minus 4ac. And the important part of that is that it's under the square root. Okay, and that will tell us something about the answer or answers to our quadratic equation based on how my discriminant turns out, right? What value you get when you take b squared and you subtract 4ac. Okay, because if we're thinking about it, we have our square root. What's going to happen if I take b squared minus 4ac and I get a negative? Well, it's going to be a negative inside my square root. I know that doesn't work. I can't, there's no real number for that square root. So that means that our x has no solution. Okay, just like when we were completing the square or trying to factor or any of those things, and there wasn't a value, okay, we get no solution. All right, so if my discriminant is negative, I get no solution. If my discriminant is positive, say I evaluated all this out, I did my square root and it came out as 4, okay, then I'm going to have a positive 4 and a negative 4. I'm going to have two different cases. Okay, so that tells me I have two solutions for my x. All right, and then the third possibility is that I evaluate all of this and it ends up being 0. Okay, there's no positive 0, there's no negative 0, it's just 0. That's what gives me one case, right? My final 0 for x, my final value for x might not be 0, okay, probably won't be 0, but I will just have one value if the result of this square root is 0. Okay, so let's look at this using the discriminant with some different examples. All right, we're still just plugging in values. Okay, so if this is my equation, then I have my a as 2, my b as 4, and my c as 2. So I'd come up here and I would say, okay, 4 squared minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is 2. All right, 4 times 2 times 2, 4 times 8 times 2 is 16. 4 squared is 16. 16 minus 16 is 0. And this tells me that the number of solutions for this quadratic equation is 0. Okay, its vertex is on the x axis. All right, that's what that tells me. That's what the discriminant being 0 tells me. All right, let's look at another one. Okay, so now I've got my b is negative 2, so negative 2 squared, okay, minus 4 times a, which is 5, times c, which is 8. 4 times 5 is 20, times 8 is 160. Negative 2 squared is going to be 4, so 4 minus 160 is going to be negative 156. It's a negative, so I know I'm going to have one solution. Okay, last one, but same thing, b squared, 3 squared, minus 4 times a negative 2 for my a, times 4. I've got a negative 4 times a negative 2. It's positive 8. Positive 8 times 4 is 32. 3 squared, 9, plus 32. That's going to be a positive 41, which gives me two solutions. Okay, and that's what the discriminant does. All right, it tells you how many solutions. It doesn't tell you anything about the solutions, doesn't tell you anything about the value, just tells you how many solutions you have for that parabola, for that quadratic equation.